Are we going live?
Yeah,
Oh,
here we are.
we're live.
Happy
Welcome.
Tuesday. Welcome, everyone. How's it going?
It's going fabulous. It is a fabulous Tuesday morning.
Yep, we are here live, like we love to do every Tuesday. It's Deb and my girl over here.
ThatKimberly.
Yay. And yeah, we're here to share all things multifamily, bring valuable information and new guests and content, and let's share and learn and create a good community here. So Kimberly, I'm going to let you talk about today's guest.
Yes, our guest is the famous Steve Gilbert. But we need to get that drum roll going. Yeah, we need drum roll. We'll work on that one for next time. Next time Steve comes on. So he was gracious enough to jump in, so we didn't have to wait until September or October to have him on. So he is filling in for us. We appreciate him so much, as well as talking about how important partnerships are in our industry, because they are. Supplier partners and partnerships in general are very, very important. So
we're in it together, guys, and we're in it for the long haul. So partnerships are important.
Yes. So wherever you're watching us, which we are live on the Facebook, the LinkedIn, and I say that jokingly, but seriously, because I think it's funny.
That's what she really calls it in real life.
Where's the other place that we're at? Oh, Twitter and the tweeters,
Mm-hmm.
the tweeters, as well as YouTube. So wherever you're watching us from, please, if you have a question, leave it in the comments. If you'd like to be on the show, feel free to send us an email, because we absolutely would love to have you on.
Be on streetlive@gmail.com.
Yes, it's easy. And if you watch on the replay, make sure you put #replay and tell us where you're watching from. If you want to join us the following Tuesday, hit that notification or follow button, so that way you'll always get notification when we're going live.
Yeah.
Right.
Cool.
So without a further ado, let me remove our banner and bring on our guest,
Mr. Steve Gilbert, who looks like he may be
he may or may not be ready.
Bring him on.
Okay, we're bringing him on.
Yeah, honey, I told you it's time to sell the kids. Okay, we're no longer profitable. We got to cut our losses. We're live. We're live.
Yeah. You love your kids, right?
Awkward. Well, we're not anymore.
Not anymore.
Yeah. Sorry about that. That's just a little inside, baseball, as we call it.
There you go. Get rid of them kids. We're doing great, Steve. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much. We already have Tammy Broadway listening with us. Hey, Miss Tammy Broadway, thanks for joining.
Yay! So, Steve, tell everyone, since we don't like to mess up people's bios, because it happens.
Yep.
We're going to let you give our audience a little 60 to 90 second high level of who you are, where you come from, all that great stuff.
Sure, absolutely. And thank you for having me. My name's Steve Gilbert. I was born at 4 o'clock in the morning on a dark, stormy night in St. Louis, Missouri, and found my way into this world of multifamily property management and marketing almost 20 years ago, actually. I started my career at Avalon Bay Communities, where I started off in their marketing department. Got a great introduction to the world of real estate through Avalon, and
through the big gun.
The big one. Yeah. Basically have spent time on the third party management side at a company called Mission Residential inside Austin, Texas, I should say. Worked my way over to Graystar, where I was their marketing manager for the Northeast for several years, and then most recently at a company called Gates Hudson here in the Mid-Atlantic, just outside the Washington D.C. area. It was a third-party management firm where we managed close to 25,000 multifamily units. And now, just because I don't like doing anything without an and in the middle of it, I am branching off of my own, providing multifamily marketing and management consulting services to small, mid-sized level firms. And I'm also passionate about starting a socially conscious, triple bottom line real estate investment and operations platform that I am working to get more information out to folks in the near future on as well. So
nice.
So you're staying busy.
Staying busy, right? Aren't we all?
Not bored, huh? Not bored at all. No.
No.
What do you do for fun, Steve?
Yeah.
Well, that's a good question.
besides sell the kids.
Yeah, it clearly has nothing to do with the children.
No.
You gotta watch that bottom line, and that's it's just not conducive to that. Yeah, I think I enjoy golf. I enjoy video games. What else do I do? Oh, baseball cards. I have it's more an addiction, really. It's got
wow. So I need to flash up some of those old baseball cards that I might have found in the past year or two.
They're probably worth nothing. That's what I found out. If they're made between 1982 and 1998, there's probably little value to them. But you never know.
But you never know.
Yeah.
Yes. The supply and demand. It's what the market says, right?
That's what the game is, supply and demand.
Yes.
Well, that's cool. So let's talk business. Kimberly, you want to start with the first question?
Well, so you have definitely had a vast, you went from small, large, which it definitely, would you not say, could be a culture shock for anyone. And how they interact with different partnerships, right? How the company chooses to interact and vet those suppliers. You kind of have to, how did you find that balance, and what differences did you see?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that I really enjoyed a lot of benefits along my career path. Going to large enterprise companies, gaining a lot of institutional knowledge and learning really just how business is conducted, and then going to smaller size firms that were seeking that kind of expertise, that reputation, and then really learning, how business operates, learning more about business in general, I would say. And, to me, I think one of the biggest contrasts between being at a small company and being at a big company is really how it relates to structure. And what I mean by that is, when you have a lot of resources, you tend to have very clearly defined roles and responsibilities, lots of good niches, right? And so, and I think at smaller firms, there is less of that and a little bit more, in my experience, kind of entrepreneurial needs. And so, I've noticed you tend to have folks that, and that relates to different skill sets amongst the employees as well. So as it relates to partnerships and trying to find, try to figure out at the end of the day how to get the job done, at larger size firms, it's since there are more resources, there tend to be a lot more exposure to different suppliers, different vendor suppliers. And
when you say exposure, you mean like liability lawsuits exposure, right?
No.
Well, that, but also more, I'll give an example, like at Greystar, there was the bandwidth and the portfolio size to test anyone and everyone, right? We just had the resources to get that exposure to a lot of different suppliers, right? And beta test and configure and give feedback and ultimately try to grow pilot properties into more portfolio size or even company-wide initiatives. At smaller size companies, you don't necessarily have that bandwidth, right? And you don't necessarily get that as much exposure because of brand awareness to those. So it really changes, I would say, like the level of intimacy that one has with working with those vendor suppliers. And it also changes, because of the volume, because of the repetition of it. It also kind of changes the relationships as we get back to partnerships. Kind of changes the relationships you have, and I can tell I've certainly learned a lot during, from that, going from large company to small company, large company to small company, about how to kind of better maintain and better cultivate and honestly just treat people right, as you grow amongst your along your career.
Right. It becomes like, I preach this with other supplier partners, that it's important to go out and develop partnerships, and not just like one and done quick sales. This industry is large but small, and we all come across each other in many different forms over many years, and a good relationship between a management company and a supplier partner is there's a relationship there. There's a true partnership that makes it work.
Yeah.
What do you think, Steve?
Yeah, I think I just wrote down supplier partner because I think that's a great description of truly who it is that you work with. When I first started at these big companies, it's more slander, these terms. We say, they're just a vendor, they're just a vendor, they'll come and go, and you just call up the vendor, get the job done, and it wasn't humanizing who was behind that, and it really was diminishing their value of what they could provide, and I liken it kind of like a transaction versus a relationship, right? And I think early on in my career, I viewed relationships more as transactions. Mm-hmm. And that kind of espoused itself in the way I communicate with folks. Like, who are you? What do you do? And how can you help me? Right? How can you help me? Not the company, not the job that needs to be done, not the task at hand, right? And I think as I matured a little bit, or some would argue I'm still 13 years old, but I think as I've matured in this industry, I've learned more about the other side of the equation, which is this is a human being. This is a person that knows, in some cases, in a lot of cases, a lot more than I do about this industry, because they've got a much more holistic view of my competitors, of the competitive landscape, of various levels of organizations, the economy in general, right? And in often cases, as we all know, there is a revolving door in a lot of instances in this, and as a derivative career, in a lot of cases, that person, one day might very well be on the management or ownership side, running the show. So to me, I think a supplier partner is a much better way, and I think it is more telling of what that relationship is like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and getting to know them, and getting and when you build the relationship with them, and really find out who they, we all like to buy and do business with people we, like, trust, and what's the other word?
Like, trust, and like, what was this, a pop quiz?
Damn it.
Do that to me.
But point is that you can easily pick the phone up, right? And give them a call, no matter, when you have that relationship and that partnership with them. So
and they do, like when these supplier partners come to you and, they're pitching they know a lot more. They do know a lot more than you usually, because they know front to back that product and how it functions, how it works, and how it's going to make your bottom line better. So build a partnership with that person and learn from them too. They can teach you.
Yeah. And what about Steve, you've been in the startup world with on the management side. So how would you say that leveraging, how did you leverage those partnerships? What did it look like prior to, going into the startup world of management?
So going from that big company to the supplier world, that definitely matured my opinion too of supplier vendors, because the first thing you'll notice when you get to a smaller company is that price that you were used to getting is a lot higher, right? Wow. Okay. I did not know that it's going to be 3 or 4 times more, right? So now,
when you have 10,000 units versus 100,000 units, it makes a big difference.
Exactly. And when you're on that other side now at startups, now you might not have necessarily that budget, with those higher price points in order to make everything work. And so that's where the creativity from my end came in. And so what I really tried to do at multiple points in my career was for the more established suppliers, right? What can I do to be of service, not in this just a transaction, but in a relationship of being able to give you something that you might need in order to help you, maybe reconfigure your product to your larger vendors, or develop a new, a new product, a new sales channel, whatever it might be. How can I help you achieve that? Maybe you can beta test something on my portfolio because it is close niche. I got my hands all over it. It's manageable. You can get good feedback, right? Vice versa. What can I do since I've got I'll make the bandwidth, right? What can I do to give you more feedback on how to reconfigure your product or make it a little bit better, right? And so it was
feedback is key.
Yeah. So it was really through that I was able to not necessarily lower the price. I would say, maybe in some cases that would get me a little bit of a price break because there was more that was coming with it. Right. But it helped me develop stronger and longer term relationships because I knew that at the end of the day, that product or service was being somewhat custom tailored to the needs of my portfolio.
Right. It was a true partnership between both parties. So yeah, you gain a lot out of each other when you go into it as a partnership versus just a transactional approach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you say was a difficult partnership situation that something taught you?
Yeah, I was struggling with that because I'm perfect and I've never had any type of conflict in my life.
I figured that.
It's a character flaw of mine. Yeah, I would say that the challenges that I have had, it's all about framing. It's all about perspective, right? I would say that, as we all do, we all have, God, this person is just a a-hole, or it's just a blank. And
why are they doing this to me?
Why are they just doing this to me and only me, right? And I think as I've grown a little bit, I've realized that a lot of the time, my resentment towards others or to organizations, there was really usually a reflection of weakness on my own part that I was manifesting, right? And so I remember a particular gentleman I worked with who was very strong on the financial side, and always challenged me, right? Always challenged me, and I took that as like a personal affront sometimes. But as I look back on it now, that helped me grow so much as a professional and as a human being, that I'm grateful for those moments. If it was like those, midnight, you're like sitting at the email, and you're like, why did I get this? What's he doing to me? What's he trying to do? And that helped me grow, right? And so, I would say that every single opportunity, every single challenge you have in this industry, every single time you butt heads with someone, that's an opportunity to learn. It's an opportunity to grow, right? And it's an opportunity to get better. And I think sometimes those frictional relationships sometimes produce the best damn products or the best services if you let it, right? If you can over that emotional block that you've got, that is personal, that is stuff that you need to work on, and get over that, and actually focus on what is the task at hand here, right? And how can we best partner, regardless of personalities, regardless of ego, regardless of character or characters, right? How can we get this done? I think that sometimes those challenges ultimately result in the best product and the best service.
Yeah, because you're seeking to understand. You're seeking to, you said it the best, of really leaning in and better understand, like, what is it? Why do I find this challenging? Leaning in to better understand, seeking that information. And once you find that information, you definitely have a better outcome.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they say. If you grow in these uncomfortable moments. You don't grow when you don't get that growth when you're stagnant and comfortable, you know, I'm just sitting around and staring at myself and thinking about how great everything is right now. It's those moments, yeah, that make us grow. So yeah, leaning into that. And like, I mean, for me, like taking emotion out of it, because I want to take things personal. Like, well, why did they say that to me like that? You know, why did they do that to me?
Yeah.
And it's not about me.
Never.
Steve, and I mean, we're all humans too, right? We all have our personal ups and downs and our personal, you know, we do our best to check our personal baggage at the door. But I would say, like, you know, you gotta think long. You gotta think long when it comes to partnerships. And you gotta think that the person that I'm talking to right now, this might be someone that is going to be hugely impactful on in my life 5, 10, 15 years from now. And you know, one of the things that I've learned in my personal and professional endeavors is to ask myself that question when I'm feeling challenged, when I'm feeling frustrated, to ask myself, what is this going to mean 5 years from now? Right? You know, is this going to be as big of a deal as I think it is right now, 5 years from now? Is this going to be an opportunity that I need to take more advantage of 5 years? You know, usually that kind of helps frame, you know, the way I reframe that particular instance. And I'll tell you that, you know, the people that are most impactful in my life right now, as I'm trying to start 2 businesses, are a lot of supplier partners that I've worked with over the last 15 to 20 years. They're the first ones to pick up the phone. They're the first ones to go out and have a coffee or lunch with. And they're also the first ones to give me that insight that I need on how to build a business. Who do we need to talk to? Oh, they're connectors, right? Okay. Here's someone I know that did that over in San Antonio that I think did a really good job. I don't know why I made San Antonio. It sounds like a cool city, but here's someone you need to talk to, right? Great, good. So we're all in, you know, I think particularly in the multifamily industry, it is a very friendly, collaborative, everybody can win. It's not very, you know, there's not just one person out there that needs a home to live in. You know, it's not a zero-sum game. There's plenty of fishes in the sea for us to go catch, or the pond, I should say. Whatever. I don't think they're fishes. Yeah, they're fishes in the sea.
Yeah.
But, they're both. Yeah. There's lots of little critters in the sea and in the lakes and the oceans and the rivers. Any place that I can't see the water, I'm not swimming in it because there's stuff in it. What advice then would you give to a new supplier in multifamily?
Oh, that's a great question.
With that great last statement segue.
Yeah.
To a great supplier, be yourself. Be yourself. I mean, I know it's cliche, but I think that I've seen a lot of it, particularly on the sales side. I think there's this sometimes it's encouraged. It's actually trained. I think this like promote this eminence front, right? Of I am perfect and I will change the tone of my voice and my diction, and you know, you should just trust me. And I think to me the most meaningful and the most profitable relationships I've had are with people that did value relationships. And I think the easiest way to establish a relationship is to be authentic and be yourself.
I agree with that 100%.
And it's not cliche. I feel like the generations, the millennial generation, to be one of the first that really started that it's okay for us to be yourself, to be the authentic person that you are.
I had to become okay that I'm not everyone's cup of tea.
Yeah.
And it's okay. I don't want to be everyone's cup of tea.
For sure.
And I think people that like my tea.
Yeah. there's something for everyone, right? Like, and Steve, you said it, you know, there's enough out there. There is a place of abundance, you know, so I do feel we all start coming from that, you know, be yourself and get out of the, you know, old mindset of you got to cover. I mean, yes, you need to be a certain, I mean, there are certain things in business that are just kind of standard, but you don't have to be stiff anymore. You don't have to be fake. And I don't think that we were ever, I don't know if that we were taught to be that, but it was just a professional was a different definition, right? Than it is now. You can still be you can be Mark Zuckerberg professional, right? And be in a t-shirt and jeans and some tennis shoes. Like it has changed what the definition of professional means.
Yeah.
But I do feel that word authentic is in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, to me, with sales and with growth and with executing strategy, half the battle is just disarming the boilerplates and getting down to whom the human being is and what the job is at hand, right? Just look at the way that we start calls, or with, I'm with so-and-so, we've got 26,000 units spread across 76 different community. And that's great. That's establishing relevance, right? That's establishing reverence, but that's not establishing what we need to do and how we need to go about doing it. Mm-hmm. So if you're authentic and you can just get to the point of what are the challenges you're facing and where do you think we can be of service here to help you get to that? That's where the magic happens and when the real conversation starts. And I think the quicker you can get to that, and just get past the again, I say the eminence front, I think the better it is to getting the job done, but also to building that long-term relationship and being part of that growth trajectory for years rather than just, point in time.
Yeah. We totally agree.
Yep. I totally agree. Yep. Well, this was awesome. Yeah. I love having this conversation.
Tell us how what you're up to now and how people can connect with you. What is Multifamily to Go about?
Oh yeah. Well, I appreciate that. So if you're interested and I'd love to get to know you more, I started a consulting firm because I noticed that there is perhaps a gap in our industry where smaller to mid-sized firms who don't have necessarily all those resources that the larger firms do, may have a need for an expert in the world when it comes to marketing or to management, right? And I'm hoping to fill that gap. So I've had the opportunity to work with some really cool companies and everywhere as small as, hey, how do we troubleshoot this underperforming property, to how do we properly establish a marketing department for this portfolio of communities, to how can we grow our business on the management or on the portfolio side. And so I'm looking for folks who are eager to find solutions to their challenges. And for us, again, as we talked about today, just how do we work together to figure out what the best approach is to that. So
yeah, because that's what it comes down to. There is enough in the sea for everyone, as you stated. It is definitely something that you're definitely going to have a lot of business come your way because of that gap that we have, and just seek and you shall find Multifamily to Go, people. So
Multifamily to Go, I love that.
Yeah. Here, I was looking for the banner to put up there, Steve, but I hope I copied the email address correctly, because I might have a problem with that.
It looks right.
No, that would probably be my fault if I misspelled it. I'm known for typos, but no, you got it. You nailed
it. Thank you, Miss Stephanie Ayler. She says we chat all.
Hey, Stephanie, good to see you.
Yes. Thank you, Tracy Moore, for popping in. Howdy back to you.
Yes. We appreciate you all so much. And we appreciate you, Steve, for joining us. Filling us in, and we open that door for you to come back again and pick another topic that you'd like to, we like, Deb and I like to call solving the world's problems, solving the multifamily world's problems. I don't know.
Yeah, well, we do what we do our best.
Yeah.
I do just love the joke. Like apartments, they're apart from each other, they're together. We should call them togethernments. Like let's get this going. I mean, we should just change the way the language here.
The togethernments, we agree.
Stephen said he learned a lot today. Stefan learned a lot today, and where he can sell his kids, Steve. So if you We'll connect you guys after the show, and y'all can work that out.
Yeah.
A lot of good advice to give to that gentleman. Yep. eBay short, but we'll talk more about it.
Yes. And if you would like to see past videos, please feel free to just put into the good old Googler or any social media site, hashtag ThatKimberly or hashtag DubDeRuin or hashtag Industry Live. See, I love those hashtags. I seem to have gotten those spellings correct.
Yep. Did it. Hey, we're all human.
Yes, we are.
But thanks everyone for joining us. And thank you, Steve, for coming on. We really appreciate your time. Again, if you want to be on Industry Live, you can email us at beyondindustrylive@gmail.com. Let us know what you want to talk about. We're down. Also, you can go check out our link on the screen, this Metro Cool link that will take you to a page where you can pick a slot. You can get on our calendar, and you can get other sources and tools from us there as well.
Yes. And we have to say thank you to Stefan and Stephanie. We can say that all really, really fast, right?
Yeah, Stefan and yes.
Yes. And Stacy and Tammy, everybody who joins us now and later, we appreciate you all very much for joining us. And yeah, we will be here next Tuesday. We look forward to when Steve comes back. That will be in the future, picking his next topic. We look forward to chatting with you again, Steve, and we look forward to talking to everyone next Tuesday. So until then, remember, sharing is caring, and be kind because mean people suck.
Yep. Amen.
Thanks so much.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.